I went into this project wanting to make a mahogany float frame with maple splines, and from the thumbnail you can see that that's not what happened. For what should have been a pretty straightforward build, I kept hitting roadblock after roadblock, and I managed to break my table saw. So instead I want to show you how I make a scrap wood float frame without the use of a table saw, and I'm going to show you how I apply Sugi bond to it at the end to help elevate that float frame a little bit. So let's build it. We are focusing on the painting to the right. It's actually older than I am. It's from 1987. The artwork measures 16 and 1/16 wide by 11 and 15/16 tall. I found some scrap pallet wood that was around 11/16 of an inch thick. This is going to be the strainer brackets, which is used to secure the painting inside the float frame. It will also help the artwork sit flat since it's warped a bit. And if that wasn't enough, they help provide strength to the frame. You'll see how in a little bit. I milled down the pallet wood to just under 11/16, which is just about how much mahogany needed to be removed to get to the 3/8 of an inch. That is too much to plane, so I attempted to resaw on the table saw. This is when things started going off the rails. It started when I inadvertently raised the blade just a little too high and the blade was making contact with the zero clearance plate, raising it up in the back just ever so slightly. In the process of fixing this problem, I noticed an unfamiliar sound. And if you haven't heard this impending sound of doom, allow me to show your ears what to listen for. What you heard was the blade free spinning because the arbor nut came loose. And then what you heard was the arbor nut falling off the arbor and into the way of the spinning blade, where the blade then yeets the nut into the bottom of the blade housing, destroying 3 teeth on the blade. It's annoying, but not a huge deal. I'll just order another blade. I prefer FTG over ATB, and I haven't had much luck finding FTG at my local big box stores. 5 to 7 business days later, and before I ordered the new blade, I totally remembered to check the arbor nut to make sure I didn't need to order a new one, right? Wrong. I had a deadline for this video, so I couldn't wait on a replacement. It was time to Not too sure what this was. I like to keep my eyes on Facebook Marketplace for free wood. This was with some pallet wood I salvaged a couple months ago, and its second life begins now. I am just so thrilled at this point because the project is back on track and I totally didn't make a wrong cut, which needs to be replaced by another scrap piece. Finally, I can test fit and make sure the painting does, in fact, finally fit. Oh, what the Let's pause and I'll break down the measurements and how I got them. When I was trying to decide my top and bottom pieces, I knew I wanted the frame to be as close as possible without touching. So I took the width of the painting and added 1/8 of an inch. I made my cuts at 16 and 3/16. That dictates how far out the side pieces will be. To calculate the length of the side pieces, I took the height of the painting plus the thickness of the top piece plus the thickness of the bottom piece. That equals 14 and 15/16. I was unnaturally happy at this point because I was actually able to move on. I'm taking measurements for the strainer brackets. It hasn't occurred to me yet that I didn't get around to ripping them down to width because my arbor nut wanted to off itself, so they are a little too big. This is an easy fix though. I stacked them on top of each other at the miter and cut off the ends just a little bit. I used 1-inch panhead pocket screws. I tested a washer head pocket screw and didn't love the way it was sitting in the pocket. "24 hours later, the frame comes out of clamps, and we do a quick fit check to make sure the picture fits. And now we can go give the neighbors a reason to stare at us. I used what I had available to me, which was this very small butane torch, but it got the job done. If you don't know, Sugi is a Japanese wood preservation technique that I'm kind of obsessed with. When finished, it creates a beautiful color and texture. I've only ever used brass wire brushes, but I'm itching to explore nylon and stainless steel. After it cools, I brush all the shiny bits away. I'm working on a finish room. I don't enjoy the finishing process in the same area I create sawdust in. I'm generally not a fan of handling dangerous or noxious chemicals, which is why I make my own finish and wax. The formula isn't my own. It's David Picciuto's, and it's been an absolute pleasure to use and make. Although I will use an appropriate finish if this one isn't adequate for whatever particular job requires something a bit more robust. My favorite discovery during this project was at the end here, because the frame looks as if it could have been made with wood from this fictional place in the painting. I think the chunky rusticness helps sell that illusion. All right, well, there you have it. Thanks for stopping by. and hanging out for a bit. If you got any value out of our time today, consider hitting the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next build.